Welcome back, guys. We are back for a round 2 matchup here at the Brothers Grimm Locals live stream tournament. Today is November 8th, 2014, and we got Frankie Lake taking on Ryan K. Frankie playing his Burning Abyss deck versus Ryan's Mermails. One of the heavy hitters in previous formats is facing off against one of the top decks right now. So, pretty cool matchup. Hopefully we see some good stuff here. So both players just getting set up. Ryan, if you could just move your mat a little closer to Frankie's. Thank you very much. And we are all ready to go. Shoutouts to that mat. That mat's pretty sexy, my good sir. I wonder who that is on it. I have no idea, but she's hot. Yeah.
I don't even know.
She's hot. She's hot. Frankie is going to start off. He's going to summon a mathematician. He's going to Foolish Burial, a card from Frankie's deck. He's going to Foolish Burial the Scar. Ryan just got to cut his opponent's deck. Make sure there is no cheating here in this Game 1 matchup. Frankie's going to set 3, and during the end phase, he's going to search. Let's see what he searches out here. He's going to search out a graph. Okay, interesting. Very, very interesting. And Frankie, it looks like he's going to pass. So, Ryan is on the draw. He opens an Upstart Goblin. So, that puts his opponent at 9,000 life points. Shoutouts to Patrick Hoban. Even though this card has been out literally for the entirety of the game, and Patrick Hoban didn't invent the card. So Ryan's going to Lure of Darkness. He's going to send away his NECH controller and draw 2 cards. Mermails. So we got an Undyne. The Undyne effect. Will it go through versus the 3 back row? The effect is good. Let's see what Ryan decides to send here. He's going to add the NECH Undyne to his hand. And he's going to send a title to his graveyard. Bistius, he's going to pay cost. Ryan, will Ryan respond? Let's see. Excuse me, will Frankie respond? I should be saying. Still deciding? The effect is good. Bistius' effect is going to activate. He's going to get himself a gun. So he's revealing to activate the Megalo's effect. Does Megalo resolve? Megalo is good. Megalo's effect. He's going to activate, allowing him to search out his Abyss Spear. So Abyss Gun from the graveyard is going to activate, summoning another Megalo. It's a pretty big field. Frankie does have 3 back row. Title. It's going to activate from the graveyard. Ryan has a field full of monsters here. What's he going to do with all these monsters? He's entering his battle phase. Frankie just calculating what the damage could potentially be to him. He would be taking a lot of damage if he takes all these attacks. So let's see how he decides to deal with this. Yeah, Mermails, always known for their OTK potential and just explosive plays in general. For that reason, I always think they'll be at least an under-the-radar deck. Karma Cut. He's going to send away a Graph and target the title. Graph effect's going to activate, summoning himself a Scarm. Way to put up a wall really quickly. He got one of his opponent's monsters, and he summoned one of his own. The Megalo is going to attack the Scarm, sending it to the graveyard. The other Megalo is going to attack for 2,400. And that will leave Frankie at a final score of 7,600. He actually, Ryan actually activated 2 upstarts. I missed one of those. Ryan's going to set 2 and end his turn. During the end phase, the Scarm is going to activate. Frankie's going to get himself a tour guide. Frankie's going to draw for turn. Tour guide. Does Ryan have a response? Solemn warning. And unless he has another counter trap, that tour guide is not going to go through. And Frankie's just going to scoop. Ryan takes game 1. Really, really good game 1. Really, we saw the explosiveness and the power of the Mermail deck. So let's see how Frankie sighs and comes back for his game 2 matchup. We'll be back. What is up, guys? We are back for our game 2 matchup of this round 2 matchup between Burning Abyss and Mermails. We got Ryan with his really explosive play in game 1, allowing him to take that game, and he's now up 1 game in this match. So we're going to see how Frankie responds. Both players have sided, and they are ready to go. Frankie just making some final changes. Hurry up, Frankie. And looks like we are ready to go here. Really excited to see some Mermails back in action, like I was saying before. Yeah, we're going to follow Orion to see how he does at this tournament today. I believe both of these players are 1-0 right now. Frankie just making some last-minute changes. Shoutouts to, what is that, Zelda he was referring to? He was doing Zelda, the fairy thing. I don't know. Shoutouts to weird people. Yeah, weird people are fun. All right, Frankie has finally done, and he's deciding to go first. We are getting ready, and let me reset the life total. Shoutouts to me not remembering to reset the life total. We are getting going. Frankie's gonna she's gonna draw his opening 5, I should say, and he's going to go. Set a monster. Setting 3 cards and pass his turn. Ryan is on the draw. He goes. Undyne. We saw an Undyne initiate all those big plays in the first game, so will he do it again? He's going to add the controller to hand, and he's also going to send a, what is that? Oh, Marksman. I can't really see. The glare is the card. Yeah. Gonna send an Atlantean Marksman to his graveyard. The Marksman effect's gonna activate from the graveyard. He's going to target. It's gonna target the middle back row. That middle back row was a wiretap. It might have been really interesting to see that wiretap against the Mermail trap card. The Abyss Spear. Allure of Darkness. And Ryan's deck is all blinged out. It's hard for me to see on camera what exactly he's playing. Of course, he's going to banish the Gen X controller rather than sending it to the graveyard. And pick up his 2. Bunch of cards in hand. Let's see how Ryan continues his turn. He's going to set 2 and pass. Frankie. Deciding on if he wants this turn to actually pass or not. Looking at his back row. And he's going to open. He's going to draw his turn. 2 cards in hand. 2 set back row. Now 3 set back row. And pass. Abyss Spear, and we got an MST chained to the Abyss Spear. Very nice. Ryan's going to draw for turn. Megalo, revealing for effect. He's going to ditch 2 cards. And the Megalo effect, special summon, will resolve. Megalo's effect's going to activate. And he is going to search himself out. An Abyss Spear. Frankie cutting his opponent's deck. He said, "You are not going to stack your deck against me." The Marksman is going to activate from the graveyard. He's going to destroy the Scarm. It's funny they see the Atlantean cards now because they function just like shit else. Tidal is going to activate itself from the graveyard. He's going to banish 2 of his water monsters to special summon it. Megalo's effect. He's going to tribute 1 of his water monsters, and Megalo can attack twice. And Frankie's going to take a whopping 7,400 damage here. Leaving Frankie at 600 life points. How is this Burning Abyss player going to respond? During the main phase 2, he's going to overlay into an Abyss Giles. I actually forgot the name of that card. It's been so long since I've played Mermails. Scarm is going to activate during the end phase. Very, very tough field to overcome. Let's see how Frankie does it. He's going to grab himself another tour guide. This is still during the end phase. We got an MST targeting a set breakthrough skill. Frankie's going to draw for turn. Options in his hand. Tour guide. Regeki. That's what he meant to do before he summoned the tour guide. And now we're going to get a tour guide. Is the response to the summon? No. Tour guide's going to resolve. Let's see what Frankie decides to search. He's at 600 life points, so he's really, really living on the edge here. He's got to make things happen fast in this game. He's going to grab the graph. Now, I really wonder if Frankie sided in that Regeki Braid, if that was actually in his main deck or his sideboard. Because that was a really interesting tech choice. You don't really see a lot of Regeki Break in the meta decks. Really, you can expect players that have the capacity to think outside the box as far as their tech choices. As he goes into a Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss, Dante is going to activate Devil Trigger for 3. Devil Trigger 1, 2, and 3. We got an effect that's going to resolve. That is the Seer. You had a Chain Link 1 Seer, Chain Link 2 Graph. The Graph will resolve first, summoning a Skarm. Then the Seer. As Frankie shuffles his deck, Seer's going to activate from the graveyard. Summoning a Graph. And Mr. Lake has a field full of monsters. And Frankie's gonna pass. The Abyss Spear is gonna activate during the end phase, and Ryan is gonna search himself out a Gund. And he's gonna summon a Megalo off the Gund effect. I remember when Mega Capital G used to call her Mermaid bitch. It's the best. He's not a good player. Ryan's gonna draw for turn. Jason, stop making me laugh on stream.
I stopped watching his videos like the second I learned anything about this game. It's like you're actually retarded.
Shout out to Mega Capital G.
For being bad.
Shout out to Jason Zimmerman too.
Not even the Prince of Cards, really just Jason Zimmerman.
Just Jason Zimmerman. Not even the Prince of Cards.
Stop making videos.
Speaking of the Prince of Cards, well, the actual Prince of Cards, where is Mr. Evan Klein? So, we got an Abyss Spike being normal summoned. He's going to pitch a Atlantean card. And grab an Undine. Force that Atlantean card, allowing him to pop a face-up card, the Dante he chooses, and the Dante's going to activate from the graveyard. Frankie is going to grab himself a Graph. Excuse me, a Seer. To his hand.
How was your Frosty? Mine was amazing.
Mine was pretty good.
Nice and creamy.
My Frosty was pretty good, Jason. Shout out to Jason bringing me Frosties for free. He is the man. Shout out to Frankie Lake.
For summoning Denev, setting 5 and then attacking. Kenny Mount that happened.
That was a thing. So the title is going to special summon itself from the graveyard. And we got a Fire Lake resolving, blowing up the field. And now all these effects are going to activate from the graveyard. Really, really game-changing play here. And Ryan, the look of salt on Ryan's face.
He has a big chubby grin on his face. So I don't see what he saw. He's actually pretty happy. He's playing Mermail Burns. That was actually the best play.
Mermail Burns. Cool, so we got just the one Burning Abyss monster going to resolve all these effects.
And Skarm's are you ending?
So Frankie got 1,000 life points from his opponent there. He's actually not in danger of being cowboyed, so it's pretty good. Oh, and Frankie's at 1,600, not 1,000. Excuse me. Ryan going through the options that he has in his extra deck, as well as looking at his graveyard. What's up, man? Ryan's just going to pass. Scarm's going to activate during the end phase. And he's going to search out the tour guide instead. Frankie's going to draw for turn. 1,600 life points and a Seer on field, as well as one back row. Ryan has, I believe, no cards on field at the current moment. Is he playing Gorse? Tour guide. Seer going to destroy itself.
They chain together, or
Seer's going to activate. Tour guide's going to activate, grabbing a graph from the deck. Frankie's going to overlay the two monsters, the two level 3s, into a rank 3 here. See what he goes into. He's going to go into another Dante. You got double Dantes on field. Devil Trigger. For how many are we Devil Triggering? 1, 2, and 3. We got a Seer that's going to resolve. Excuse me, Graph. Graph going to activate. Frankie doing all of these plays at still a mere 1,600 life points. Ryan's just waiting for that one more push to get through. Calculating how much damage he could actually deal in this turn, as he decides to summon a monster from his deck. What's he going to choose? He chooses the Seer. Ryan's still at 8,000 life points. So he's going to attack for 1,000. He's going to attack for 16. He's going to attack for 16, 1,000, and 2,500. And that leaves Ryan at what? 2,900 life points. So another big attack by Frankie. Ryan is at 2,900 life points. Downward Magician, and the Seer is going to destroy itself. Special summoning Scarm, which will destroy itself as well. And we'll see him during the end phase. Frankie's going to set one more card. During the end phase, that Scarm's going to activate. Frankie's still deciding on what he wants to search out here with that Scarm effect. He's going to take the tour guide. Not sure how many tour guides Frankie used already this game, but I'm sure he's getting low. That count is getting definitely low. Have to keep that in mind as this game turns into a grinder. Ryan is on the draw. He picks up for his turn. Checking his graveyard, checking his hand. You got an Undyne. Is the effect going to resolve? It resolves. The Undyne effect goes through. Ryan is going to search himself out a Genix controller, as well as send a water monster to the graveyard. He's going to send the Abyss Spike. Is that Spike? I don't know. Oh, excuse me, Dragoons. I can't see, dude. This. The Dragoons effect is going to activate, adding an Atlantean to his hand. Ryan looks at the brand new options that are in his hand as he decides on how he wants to finish off his turn here. Checking his graveyard. Checking his extra deck. Are we going to see some firepower here? And Frankie is literally thanking the Yu-Gi-Oh gods for that upstart goblin that Ryan played. He says shout outs to base god. He thanks the base god and only the base god. Base god Hoban. Guys, Patrick Hoban did not invent Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin was a card. The Bistius is going to detach too. The effect is going to resolve. And that is an Abyss Spike, excuse me. He's going to search himself out an Abyss Spike. Let his opponent cut his deck. Are we going to see another play here? Frankie Lake with that 2 back row. Wonder what those cards are. Are they relevant to this matchup? Yes, it's the tournament match. Yeah. Yow. I'm sorry? Sorry about that, guys. Back to the game. Frankie is going to Karma cut away the Abystius, sending a Seer from his hand. And then all the Abystius that are in Ryan's graveyard are going to go banished, but there are none. Seer is going to activate from the graveyard. He's going to special summon the Skarm, and the Skarm is obviously going to destroy itself. The title is going to special summon itself. Ryan is going to send away a Genix Undyne and a... What does he choose here? An Abyss Spike. What's he going to do with that title? Ryan's going to set one and pass. It is Frankie's go. He is still living on the edge at 1,600 life points. He finally draws for turn. 2 cards in hand, 1 set back row. Downed Magician and Dante. Who's going to take this game? Frankie checking his graveyard for his available options in his deck, most likely. Checking his opponent's graveyard for the same of his opponent's available options. Shuffling his hand endlessly, which is annoying me. I'm sorry? Back to this game. I just got a card offer on an El Shaddai Fusion, so sorry I was talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Prices. Still Frankie's go. Looks like Frankie is going to overlay into a second Downward Magician. Still at 1,600 life points to Ryan's 2,900. Again, Ryan is up this one game. And these Burning Abyss matches are so long. There's so many things that actually happen. Tour Guide effect resolves. Frankie special summons a new Burning Abyss monster. I believe that's Calcab, I believe is how you say his name. Calcab comes to the field, one of the newer cards in the Burning Abyss family. He's like that really ugly cousin that no one talks to. But it looks like he's about to get with the tour guide. He's about to get on top of her. Yeah, he's on top of the tour guide, guys. We got card-on-card action here, right here on the Eternal Duelist. Frankie's going to overlay. Into the Djinn monster. I believe that's... I forget his name. Interesting tech choice by Frankie. I wonder what he's going to do here. And what is that card's name, Frankie? He's a Djinn. Move to the rhythm. Cool. Big field here by Frankie Lake. Dante's going to activate. He's going to mill. 1, 2, 3. All traps. Not the best mills in the world, but that's okay. His Dante's at a beefy 2,500 attack. So the Djinn monster, I believe he has the effect that he can double his attack power during the damage step. I do remember that. Not quite sure it was his name. So that effect's going to activate during the damage step. He's going to detach 1. He's going to attach the Calcab. Calcab is going to activate during the damage step, returning the set back row. I'm actually not sure if that's possible, but we'll let it rock.
No, it's during damage. It's whenever it's into the graveyard.
Oh, okay.
That's why, you know, land activates.
Okay. I'll let it rock. I am not a judge, ladies and gentlemen. The Dante's going to attack over the Undyne. And Ryan is going to scoop. We are going to game 3, folks. Stay tuned.
Wait, how did he win game 1 after getting lakes for 5?
We're back, guys. We are here for game 3 action between Burning Abyss and Mermails. We got Frankie Lake taking on Ryan K. It's game 3. Ryan chooses to go first in this game 3 matchup. He, of course, took game 1 off a really brilliant, valiant effort by his Mermail deck. He's going to open with the Undyne. He's going to add the controller to his hand, and he's deciding on what he wants to send to the graveyard. Both these players are 1-0 and playing for their second win of the day in this game 3 matchup. Everything's on the line. He's going to send away the title. And he got that title in the graveyard pretty early. Shuffling his deck. He's going to set a card and pass his turn. Frankie's on the draw. Frankie draws for turn. Frankie Lake playing his Burning Abyss deck. We saw a really nice game 2. Really outgrinded his opponent. He's going to summon the Mathematician as his opening play. Mathematician effect is going to resolve. He's going to send away. He's going to send away a Skarm. Opponent's going to cut his deck. Skarm is in the grave. The Mathematician is going to attack over the Undyne. Ryan's going to be at 7,900 life points.
77.
Excuse me, 7,700 life points. Frankie's going to set 2, pass during the end phase. We got an Abyss Spear is going to resolve, and the MST that was in hand is going to be chained to the activation. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Really smart of Frankie not to set that MST early. Keep it in his hand. Ryan's going to upstart, giving Frankie another 1,000 life points. Of course, that 1,000 life points probably saved Frankie that last game.
It actually did. Oh, wait. No, I didn't take any damage. So. I could have put
Ryan still had that Mathematician on board. That Mathematician, of course, being a floater, being able to draw a card when it's destroyed by battle. Shoutouts to Team Floater. Hashtag Floater. Hashtag Sangan, greatest card ever. It's my favorite card ever, by the way. Hashtag Tour Guide Sangan. Hey, have you guys ever seen the picture with Sangan? And he's like sitting on the couch, and Tour Guide's like, "When are you ever gonna do anything?" It's like the best fan art ever. Shoutouts to fan art, guys. Ryan's turn, still deciding on what he wants to do with his new added card in hand. He's going to reveal for the effect of the Megalo. He's going to send away some cards. Megalo resolves. Megalo's effect's going to activate. He's going to search himself out in what looks like an Abyss Spear. Search himself out in Abyss Spear. Shoutouts to really super hollow Abyss Spears. Even though they're super hard to see on camera, but that's okay. That's why I'm here to commentate. So something is being destroyed because of the Atlantean Marksman. And it looks like we got a chain. It looks like we're going to chain the Phoenix Wing Wind Blast to that effect. And Megalo's going to go to the top of the deck. Skarm. Ryan's still going through his options. He's going to summon the title. He's going to normal summon the Gen X controller. He's going to attack over the Mathematician. He's going to take 1,100. Mathematician's, of course, going to activate, allowing him to draw a card. And then the Gen X controller is going to attack for 1,400. And that leaves Frankie Lake at a whopping 6,500 life points.
This is not tournament, right? No, it is. You know that time was called a while ago, right?
Main phase 2, he's going to synchro summon for 10. We got a big boy coming out. Leo. And it is extremely hard for Burning Abyss to overcome this one card. This card is actually a really popular tech choice in Shaddolls because of how difficult of a time Burning Abyss has with dealing with this card. Leo, an extremely powerful card. Yeah. Frankie's going to draw for turn. 6,500 life points to Ryan's 7,700. How is he going to get over this Leo? Let's see. Tour Guide of the Underworld. The effect will resolve. Tour Guide of the Underworld is going to special summon a monster. Deciding on what he wants to go into here. Shoutouts to Pokemon card tokens. Shoutouts to Blastoise. Shoutouts to the original 250. Hey, if you guys see on my channel, I do have some old school Gen 2 matchups featuring gold, silver, and crystal as he special summons the graph. You guys can go ahead and check those out. Those are pretty cool. And it looks like we're going to overlay. He's going to go into the Dante as the judge comes over to let them know they are in time. So these guys are going to need to hurry up. Dante effect's going to activate. Devil Trigger, Mills, 1, 2, and 3. We got a Scarm being sent to the graveyard.
I'm pretty sure it's from like, what is it, Zoe 101? The old show. Then I have my friends.
He's going to special summon the Seer.
Wait, no. Oh, no. You want to see the conversation? That one with that picture? Hold down when you want to keep going. Yeah, that's what I call it all of them.
And Frankie Lake's going to pass his turn. During the end phase, we got an Abyss Spear. 0 cards in hand. He has the MST, which is going to... And Frankie Lake is really clutch when it comes to those MSTs on those spears. As Ryan draws for turn. At the current moment, we have our Mermail player on top. 7,700 to Frankie Lake 6,500. Shoutouts to Zodiac Duelist, which Frankie Lake is always on. Always. He is always posting on Zodiac. It is pretty crazy. Just saying. So he is Zodiac. Zodiac, this is your hero playing. Let's see if he can overcome this Leo. The Leo is going to attack the Dante. Dante is going to activate from the graveyard. He's going to grab himself a Seer. So during the main phase 2, Frankie's going to activate a breakthrough skill. Frankie drew for turn, deciding on what he wants to do. Scarm. Special summon of the Scarm. He's going to overlay. And both these players are in time. I believe this is final terms for both players. Frankie's going to go into the Nightmare Shark. And despite having a Leo on field, it looks like Frankie Lake's going to take this one.
No, like if I attack, like he can attack you directly. What?
What? Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I got it because I know you need it. It's
going to normal summon the Tour Guide. Tour guide's gonna activate. It's a special summon the Cow Cab. Cow Cab is going to destroy. Excuse me. It's not going to destroy itself. It's a summon off the tour guide. I'm bugging. It's going to go into another rank 3 here. What's this one going to be? This one is going to be a Mech Equip Angolier.
Because I don't want to like someone else, like if someone else wants it, like they're paying like 6, like.
The Shark Knight's going to activate.
Do you need rubric too or no?
Excuse me, the Nightmare Shark, I should say.
Okay.
Seer's going to summon a Dante.
It's yours.
He's going to attack for 2,000 straight to the face. Ryan's at 5,700 life points. And Frankie's going to pass. Ryan. Not sure. I'm not sure how many turns are left in time, but this match is in time. This is Ryan's last turn. How is he going to respond? Can he deal at least 1,000 damage to Frankie within this turn?
He has to do 1,000 damage?
That's what he needs to win. Actually, 900 damage.
You can do that.
Title. As Frankie acts to see his opponent's graveyard. He's going to attack the Angolier. Angolier is going to activate, targeting the Shark Knight. Cow Cab's going to bounce that back to his hand, and Ryan's going to scoop. Frankie Lake takes it on stream, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very, very valiant effort. Zodiac, there you go. There is your champion, Zodiac Duelist. Congrats to Frankie Lake. He moves on to be 2-0 in this tournament. Ryan drops to 1-1. Excellent match, guys.